Well, I don't know about you, but as far as predicting the future goes, I think you might as well have one of these guys right here. Remember those? Magic 8 Ball? I had one when I was a kid. Remember how they used to get stuck on one particular answer? I understand you can even buy them now with custom made answers answers on them. So, how about a Ouija board? There's a good way to predict the future. Ever have a Ouija board? I had one when I was younger. Some people believe in them. Go figure. And the people that believe in them get kind of freaked out when they when they seem to work. Of course, I think somebody was always putting a little pressure in one direction or another. That's just my opinion. Ever have your tarot cards read? Fortune teller? Ever been to a fortune teller? If you have, I'd love to hear about that. How did their predictions go? I've never been myself. Remember those little fortune teller papers you had in grade school? The little ones that you worked with your fingers like that? That's going back a few years. Grade school. Wow, what's that? 7, 8 years old? That's going back like 65 plus years. It doesn't seem that long ago, does it? We used to call them cootie catchers too. Whatever that means. I don't know. Didn't know then, don't know now. And fortune tellers, remember the movie Big? Remember Zoltar Speaks? The kiosk where the young Tom Hanks went to wish he was big? There's a fortune teller for you. That one came true. Or he had his wish granted, I guess, anyway. And there's always the Farmer's Almanac. Are you a believer in the Farmer's Almanac? Seems like a lot of speculation to me, but who knows? A lot of people believe in the Farmer's Almanac. As far as I'm concerned, the weather is pretty unpredictable, even for the professionals with with all of their equipment. How could you possibly predict the weather months in advance when they when they can't seem to do it days or hours sometimes in advance? You ever listen to a weather forecast and have them tell you it's going to be sunny and bright, and you look out the window and it's raining? That's happened. As far as telling the future goes, are you a follower of Nostradamus from back in the 1500s? Made all the predictions for the future. Some people believe that they have come true. Some of them have come true. Some people think otherwise. Nostradamus, a lot of people think that his predictions were pretty vague. A lot of them were pretty vague and could have fit any number of different scenarios. I don't know. I guess I'm not a believer in predicting the future, so that's my side of it. You feel differently? It seemed to me like a lot of Nostradamus's predictions were in a negative vein, all the bad things that were going to happen. And if you believe in that sort of thing, it gives you cause to worry. And I think there are enough things to worry about without worrying about somebody's predictions for the future, unless you're a believer in that sort of thing. I guess I'm not. So I don't know. Predicting the future is an awful lot of speculation to me, and I'm not a huge fan of speculation. Those what might happen and what if something happens and this could happen. You don't know. So I don't spend a lot of time worrying about what could happen, I guess. I'm more interested in what's likely to happen. Anything could happen. What's likely to happen? I guess that's where I fall. Remember Y2K? Where did you stand on Y2K? I was up in the UP at that time, up in Michigan, doing my homesteading shtick. And Y2K was in the air, put it that way. I took it not too seriously. It was to me it was one of those. It's possible, I guess. Something could happen. Were the planes going to fall out of the sky and the whole world go belly up? No, I didn't believe that. I believe there could be some shortages here and there. That was possible. So I stocked up a little bit. Not I didn't go extreme like some people did. I don't know if that was exactly when preppers got their heyday or had their heyday or began their heyday. And I have nothing against preppers. There's nothing wrong with being prepared as far as I'm concerned. If you think something's bad is going to happen, then by all means prepare for it. How bad do you think it's going to be? And how much preparation do you need to do for it? That's the question. Some people, if you recall, went kind of totally berserk with it, and that was a little over the top to me, but if that's the way they felt, then I guess you have to act on what you believe, right? And as far as trying to predict the future or people worrying about what's going to happen in the future, how about politics? You know, with the last election here in the United States, quite a few people are worried about the future. Quite a few people are optimistic about the future. So you have both sides. Whatever the situation, you've always got both sides. So which side is right, which side is wrong? Truth is usually somewhere in the middle. I'm not going to get too deep into the future as far as politics is concerned. There's enough of that on Facebook and YouTube for anybody that wants to look for it. That's not what I'm doing here. It will be fun to see what actually happens, though. However, whichever way it goes, however it goes, that'll be interesting. Won't be long either. Matter of a couple of weeks now. The thing is, there really are no guarantees as far as the future is concerned. You know, I've said it before. If you want a guarantee, buy a washing machine. There are no guarantees in life. The only guarantee in life is death. That's the only thing you're guaranteed of. Nobody gets out alive. Nobody has ever gotten out alive. Look at all those we lost in 2024. Lots of celebrities. Maybe you lost some family last year. As far as the celebrities go, put together a little short list. This is by no means complete. There's some of the celebrities, some of the well-known people that we lost in 2024. You know, it's a question of who it will be this year. You know, we joke about Willie Nelson and Keith Richards. Who knows? We joked about Betty White for a number of years too. Lost her. What was that 2023? I think we lost her. There's nothing to feel too bad about that. It's a little shocking when the well-known people that we're losing are closer to your own age. I mean, this year or last year we lost Mitzi Gaynor, which won't mean anything to the younger people now. My parents, if they were still around, would know who Mitzi Gaynor was. That's less shocking to me because she was older. I don't know exactly how old she was. But when you start losing the people in your age group of your generation, that's a little different story. It has a little different effect on you. Sometimes it's like losing a friend, even though you've never met them. They feel like a part of you, and I suppose they are a part of you. It's not easy losing those people, but I don't want to dwell on the death part of it. What are your hopes for the coming year? What are your hopes for 2025? What would you like to see happen this coming year? Do you have any plans for this year, or are you planning something major for 2025? Got a big trip planned? Got a major decision to make this year? Have you made any New Year's resolutions? Are you planning to change anything this year? Do something differently than you've done in the past? If you have, leave them down in the comments. I'd like to hear what people are planning and what changes they're trying to make in their life. That'd be kind of interesting. While you're down there, feel free to subscribe. You know, hard to tell what's coming up on this channel this year. I've got some plans, but those plans can change too. The plan is to stick with it. I can tell you that. I'll continue posting once a week as long as I can. Feel free to subscribe. I haven't really made any formal New Year's resolutions, but aside from making the most out of every day, living every day, you know, when you get to be my age, 75, I'll be 76 this year, you know, living every day takes on a little bit more meaning, a little different meaning. And I don't think about it in a morose kind of way. You know, it's just a fact of life that I have more days behind me than I have in front of me. You know, you get to this age, that's the way it is. Not just me, everybody. I'm way past middle age. I still feel like I'm in middle age, but I'm way past middle age. And I'm still making plans for the year ahead. Like I said, I'm going to keep the channel going, and I've got a motorcycle trip that I'm planning for May. That's still working on that. Keep living as long as you're alive. And the other side of that, I'm planning on decluttering a little bit too. You know, getting rid of some of the things that, oh, how do you put it? That I finally convinced myself I won't be using anymore. I'm something of a collector. I have to admit that. But there are some things that I have collected that I'm not going to be using. If I'm honest with myself, I'm not going to be using them anymore. So I'm going to start decluttering some of that stuff. That's in the plans for this year. I got some sports equipment that I need to get rid of, that I'm not going to be using anymore. I got rid of my scuba gear when we sold our place in Wisconsin and moved down here to North Carolina full time. So I kind of I didn't talk myself into it. I came to realize that my scuba diving days were done. And I have to admit that occasionally I get the urge to do that. and it's probably good that the that the equipment got sold. Otherwise, I might feel like I wanted to give it another try. And I'm going to get rid of my second motorcycle. I've had it for a long time. It was actually my first Harley, and a friend of mine happily asked me if I was interested in selling it, and I told him I would be interested in selling it. I was talking about or thinking about selling it, before, but it's kind of a personal thing to me, and I didn't want to sell it to somebody I didn't know, to be honest with you. And when he showed some interest in it, I was all over it. So we made a deal. That worked out really well for both of us. I like that. So with the year starting up here, a fresh year, keep a positive attitude, keep hold of your optimism, stay flexible to changes, because there are going to be changes along the way. Be grateful, but mostly relax. It's going to be okay. And remember this. See? There's that. Peace, joy, and Happy New Year.